right, welcome back, folks, to the third and final game, the second game of the doubleheader here between the Arkansas Tech Golden Suns and the Harding Bisons. As we have a new pitcher, that would be Emily Richard. She came in last game at the very end of it and was able to give her team a chance to walk it off, which is exactly what they did last game, winning 5-4 and end the series against their arch rival, the Bisons. That one hits well struck to center field. Aubrey Jones gets under it, and that'll be the first out of the ball game. So the defensive lineman for the Golden Suns, as far as that's concerned, your outfield remains the same: is Anna, Aubrey, and Aaliyah from left to right, and then you have your third baseman Riley Drake, and your shortstop Maya Curry, and Caroline Wilhelm at first. Riley throws over to the second baseman, which is a new player, which is number 20, Lexi Gunter. As she was able to cover first, as Caroline was charging for the bunt. So that'll be the second out of the inning, and number 12, Zoe Neal, steps up to the plate for the Bisons. So then Emily's battery mate behind the plate will be Charlie Jackson. That first pitch to Zoe is a called strike on the outside part of the plate. As there are 2 on with nobody out. Golden Suns look to sweep the series against their arch rival. That pitch is inside for ball 1. Richard thought she had that one. So with that win after this pitch, I'll tell you, right over to Riley Drake and throws over to Caroline, and that'll be the final out of the inning. Richard does a 1-2-3 at the top of the first as we head to the bottom. This is Golden Sun softball. All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the bottom of the first with the score tied at 0 apiece. And let's see, the new pitcher for the Harding Bisons in the circle today for the third and final game is Avery Booker. She is a sophomore with an ERA of 2.54 so far on the year. And Anna swings at that one. First pitch, foul. She has a win-loss record of 8-4 with 99 and one-third innings pitched, giving up 51 walks and has 71 strikeouts on the year. And she has also given up 14 extra base hits and only 4 home runs on the year so far. That one was low and inside for ball 1. See, your defensive alignment for your Harding Bisons will be, I'll get it to you here shortly. And that one was fouled by Anna Wingfield. So the count goes to 1-2 to Anna. And the 1-2. And high and outside from Booker. What was really great was between the games, the Golden Suns were they signed autographs for most of the people here. And that one shoot right back with the middle. Shortstop gets it and able to throw her out at first. That was a very close play with Anna's speed. So that'll bring up the shortstop, Maya Curry, as she steps up to the box. So you have Booker as a pitcher, Alexis Boswell, the catcher again. Zoe Neal is the first baseman. Alexander is your second baseman. Danielson is in right field. Logan Ringel is in center. And Joe Wheeler is out in left. Bailey Willis is your shortstop. And Bailey Robinson is your third baseman. Home plate umpire said that ball was foul. So even though Curry ran all the way down to first, there were some grumblings with the Golden Suns faithful here at Chartwell's Women's Sports Complex on the campus of Arkansas Tech University. And that one's low and outside for ball 2. I was fortunate enough to get one of those signed pictures by all the Golden Suns. It was a great promotion that was done today with Pack the Berm. 2-1. Maya slaps that right back to the pitcher, and another bang-bang play. And the Bisons were able to get that out. So that'll bring up Aubrey Jones, who got the walk-off hit after suffering 2 strikeouts on the day. Got the, like I said, got the walk-off hit. Walk-off double, actually, in the right center field gap. She's batting .350 on the year so far with an OPS of 1098 and has 34 home runs, 8 home runs, with scoring 31 runs. The 1-0 is in there for a called strike on the outside part of the plate. So, by far the Golden Suns' most dangerous hitter. And swings and fouls that one back. Boswell unable to catch that one. So, got count of 1-2 here with 2 outs. And Aubrey gets that through the 3-4 hole and is able to get a single out of that for the first hit of the ball game. So that'll bring up Allie White, the designated player for the Golden Suns.
Designated player number 33, Allie White.
Here's the first pitch to Allie from Booker. Is low and outside for ball 1. So Allie is batting .287 with that first game, and with 13 walks and 15 strikeouts. And that one's chopped. Third baseman charges it, throws over to first, and that will be the third out of the ball game. Booker was able to work around that single by Aubrey Jones, and will remain scoreless here as we head to the top of the second. This is Golden Sun softball. All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the top half of the second inning with Richard still pitching for the Golden Suns. Number 55, Ella Frederick, the designated player for the Bisons, stepping up to the plate for them to lead off this second inning here. First pitch to Frederick is a strike, swinging by Richard. Emily Richard did come in relief last game of today. I believe she got the save, and that was hit foul and hits the fence, and Caroline Wilhelm was not able to corral that. The Golden Suns, with that win, improved their record to 35-12 overall and 23-6 in conference. And the Harding Bisons dropped their record to 24-19 and 19-10 in conference. And that's a swinging strike three, another strikeout for Emily Richard. 3 pitches and got the strikeout. So that'll bring up Lana Danielson, who is the right fielder for the Harding Bisons here. So as we are almost set, there we go. Here we go. And that one's low and inside for ball 1. As I was saying earlier, Emily Richard did come in relief this last game in the top half of the 7th inning for Ainsley Moore and was able to get the save. And that one's fouled back towards the parking lot, ends up in the Bison bullpen. And that'll be strike 1. So she earned the save, and so her ERA now is 2.27 with a 7-3 record with 83 1/3 innings pitched. And coming into the game, she had 79 strikeouts with only 44 walks. So Richard calls time, and as the count runs to 2-1, as I believe it'll be all hands on deck this game. And that one's fouled softly back. And that'll make the count even at 2-2. As Harding does not want to get swept by their arch rival and Tech wants to keep pace with Southern Arkansas and Oklahoma Baptist as far as the conference standings are concerned. So 2-2 is in there for Lowe for ball three. Richard gives her a head nod and for Danielson not chasing that pitch outside the zone. And that one's softly hit. Riley tries to dive for it, unable to come up with the catch in foul territory. And Danielson will earn another pitch. So now we'll still have a full count here. See if we get another payoff pitch from Richard here. She can add to her strikeout total. That's popped up into basically no man's land, and that'll be the first hit for the Harding Bisons as it dropped just over Maya Curry at short and right in front of Anna Wingfield in left. So that'll be, like I said, Harding's first hit here. So that'll bring up Alexis Boswell, the catcher for the Bisons. See if the Golden Suns can turn a double play here. Get out of this inning. And that is low for ball one from Richard. Let's see. Boswell with the results for the previous game is batting .267 on the year with a .714 OPS. Has 11 strikeouts and 9 walks so far. Here's 1-0. And that is fouled straight back for strike one. And in 116 at-bats, she has 31 hits with 9 doubles and 2 home runs. So, and also has 19 RBIs. And swings through that pitch and misses for strike two. As Richard was able to hit the outside corner with that pitch. So that'll be, here comes the 1-2. And fouls that one back. And we'll get another pitch as Boswell earned that with the foul ball. As we got a 1-2 count again with one out with a runner at first. See how aggressive the Harding coach is. Hasn't been so far. And that one's another foul ball, and Boswell will earn another pitch in this battle with Richard. All right, she's got her pitch. Here comes the 1-2. Inside for strike three called. Got the reverse K. Richard did. And that'll bring up Bailey McGregor, who's only batting .108 on the year. She's a freshman who's playing left field for the Bisons today. And an OPS of .470. First pitch is low and outside for ball one. So that'll, let's see if Richard can work around this single here and get out of the inning. McGregor has 6 Ks on the year and 6 walks. Swings through that pitch for strike one. And also has 6 RBIs. Does have a home run on the year. And has 2 doubles and no triples. So she has scored 5 times. And gotten, let's see, In 37 at bats, she's gotten 4 hits. That is fouled in the Golden Suns bullpen, and that is strike 2. With 2 outs. See if Richard can work around this single here. 1-2. Fouled again. And that'll be earn another pitch here. As the home plate umpire gets more clean balls here. About ready to. Oh, my apologies. I need a correction. The count is 0-2. See if Richard can get McGregor here. High and outside for ball 1. McGregor was not chasing that pitch. Richard threw that one up in the zone. Here comes the 1-2 from Richard. Low and outside for ball 2. And it seems that the Bison coach, or the Bison's coach, is not being aggressive at all on the base pass. They have manufactured some runs, however. That is laced down to the right field, and Aaliyah Dixon's under it. And Richard works around the single as we head to the bottom of the second with the score tied 0-0. You're listening to Golden Sun Softball.
First baseman number 12, Caroline.
All right, welcome back to Golden Sun Softball as we head to the bottom half of the second inning with the score still 0-0 between the Golden Suns and the Harding Bisons. And Caroline Wilhelm is in the box for the Golden Suns to lead us off here in the bottom half of the second. The first pitch to her is a ball outside. Caroline is batting .285 on the year so far from that previous game and has an OPS of .802. That one's fouled back for strike 2, or strike 1, my apologies, my correction. So, and Caroline has 20 Ks on the year with only 11 walks. However, she has 25 RBIs. And that one's outside for ball 2. As Boswell had a little bit of trouble finding it in the turf after she blocked it. Here's a 2-1. Inside for a called strike. Caroline thought that was more of a ball than a strike. As she takes a deep exhale. Here's the 2-2. And hits that one up the middle. And second baseman gathers it, throws over to first, and it is late.
Yeah, baby.
So Caroline digs that one out and will earn an infield hit. So that'll bring up Aaliyah Dixon up to bat for the Golden Suns. She is now batting .304 on the year with a OPS of .972. Has 30 Ks and 12 walks and 20 RBIs. Always a threat on the base pass with her speed. First pitch to her is a strike. As the Harding Bisons know this, as she is trying to do a sack bunt here, probably. Swings away right at the pitcher and gets a piece of the pitcher, but looks like the pitcher might be okay. And get a time call, and pitcher seems all right. That was one of those, could have been a lot worse than what it was. Good thing that the pitcher did a matrix move on that one, because that was right at her. That's why they wear masks as far as pitchers are concerned. So, all right. So that'll, Dixon will be at first with Caroline at second, and Charlie Jackson is up at the plate. And she tries to bunt and gets it down and slides to first, but she works the sack bunt to perfection, moving up the runner 60 feet. So runners at second and third, and that'll bring up Lexi Gunter, who's only batting .143 on the year and OPS of .423 on the year. So she has two strikeouts with 4 walks and 2 RBIs. And that one, the first pitch is foul into the Golden Sun bullpen. As let's see if she can add to that RBI total here. Since there's only 1 out, let's see if she, even if it is an out, let's see if she can be a productive one. That one's down through the shortstop, and they threw home and got Caroline. Alexis or Dixon got to third, and Coach Jones is arguing obstruction with that out. And I thought it could have been 2. And are in the home plate umpire, and she tells her player that's her fault for sending her. So that'll bring up Riley Drake. See if the Golden Suns can cash in with a runner at third again. Runners at the corners. Let's see if Coach Jones will send Lexi to second. And see if Boswell will throw down there. I doubt she would, especially with Dixon's speed at third, because she would probably take off if that were the case. And Riley fouls that one down the left field line. So Riley is batting .237 on the year with an OPS of .665 with 15 strikeouts and 13 walks, but also has 10 RBIs. Here's the 1-1. And swings at that pitch and misses for strike 2. So with the 97 at-bats that Riley has had so far this year, she has 23 hits and 5 doubles. Lexi goes, and she thought that Dixon was going, and they did not throw home and got her out with the tag. So Lexi got caught stealing, so we head to the bottom half, the top of the third inning, with the score remaining scoreless between the Golden Suns and the Harding Bisons. This is Golden Suns softball.
Welcome to St. Mary's Regional Health System, your trusted healthcare partner in Russellville. Since 1925, we've grown alongside our community, providing compassionate care to generations. With advances in technology and a dedicated team, we continue to evolve, driven by our mission of making communities healthier. Thank you, Russellville, for allowing our family to care for yours. St. Mary's Regional Health System, making communities healthier.
All right, welcome back to Golden Suns softball as we head to the top half of the third inning here. As Bailey Willis, the shortstop, will be stepping into the box here for the Harding Bisons. As she is also one of the seniors that got honored before the previous game. And she fouls that first pitch from Machard back for strike one. So Willis is batting .225 on the year with an OPS of .487. She has 11 strikeouts and only 4 walks, but has 5 RBIs and then only 1 double on the year. So the count now is 0-1 with Richard still in the circle. And that pitch is low and outside for ball one. The weather has held off for the most part here at Chartwell's Women's Sports Complex and has turned out to be a halfway decent day for softball, with the sun peeking out every now and then on the clouds, and that one's fouled back for strike two. We have a slight breeze, but not enough to move our flag out in dead center field. And here's the 1-2. And that one's golfed into left field. And that'll be the Bison's second hit of the day. And that'll bring up Peyton Alexander, the second baseman, who is a freshman, batting .119 on the year so far, with an OPS of .401. And has 59 at-bats, but only 7 hits in those 59 at-bats. She has 26 strikeouts and only 9 walks. So with the runner on first and nobody out, here's the first pitch from Richard, and bunt was on, and that was a low for ball one. Let's see. Yep, Caroline and Riley are playing up here. As the Bisons are trying to manufacture some runs here. Bunt is still on. And unsuccessful for that one. That'd be ball two. So quickly into a hitter's count does go Alexander against Richard. That one was on the higher side of the zone. Here's the 2-0. Still doing bunt. Foul straight back. Hit the netting right next to me. And so that'll bring up the first strike of the at-bat. Now we're sitting at 2-1 with nobody out, with a runner at first. Here's the 2-1. And bunt is on. Foul ball. And that quickly evens the count at 2-2. So we still have a halfway decent crowd here at Chartwell's Women's Sports Complex. That one's fouled back, and we'll get another pitch here soon. And as the count remains 2-2, I was expecting that most of the people would leave after the first game because that was the pack the berm, but most of them have stayed. And that one's softly hit. Curry gets one. Lexi Gunter throws over to Caroline, and that'll be a fielder's choice for the first out of the inning as the Golden Suns try to turn two. So now we're back up to the top of the lineup with Bailey Robinson, the third baseman, playing the hot corner for the Bisons. As we'll see as Bailey takes a hitter's timeout with that. Trying to throw off Richard with that timing as we reset the pitch clock. Yes, we do have a pitch clock in Division II softball, just like Division I. And that is, let's see, I thought that was foul, but they're saying it was not. They're saying that Bailey missed it. So the runner is able to advance to second and take away the double play. So here comes the 0-1. And strike two comes from Richard. As Bailey did not like that call. She thought it was a ball all the way. And with her first base coach kind of trying to calm her down. Here comes the 0-2 from Richard. And that'll be low for ball one. Bailey was not chasing that pitch, as Richard thought she would. So the count moves to 1-2 with one out and a runner at second. Bisons are trying to manufacture some runs here. There's the 1-2. Foul back. And we'll get another pitch here shortly from Richard. So Harding Bison's coach calls timeout to talk to Bailey. And we'll be back shortly after this short break. All right, welcome back to Golden Sun Softball as we are at the top half of the third inning with the count 1-2 with one out. Runner at second with Bailey Robinson up to bat. She got jammed there, and Riley Drake tries to make a diving catch in foul territory. Unsuccessful to get that. Trying to make a Sports Center top 10 play there. Just barely missed it as Bailey Robinson got jammed there with that pitch from Richard. See if Richard goes to the outside part of the plate after that inside pitch. Here's a 1-2. And throws that one, as I predicted. Outside part of the plate does not get the call for that, and the count evens at 2-2. Here comes the pitch from Richard. And that one's smoked back up the middle. Here comes, picks it up. R.B. Jones touches it, and Caroline cuts it off, but throws out the runner as Bailey tried to leg out a double from a single, and Curry tags her out for the second out. So that'll bring up Logan Ringel. So we'll have a players only meeting in the circle here, try to talk strategy with a runner at third with the Golden Suns with Charlie Jackson in there. Leading most of the meeting, and it is a fairly quick and short meeting at that. Just trying to talk some strategy here. So Logan Ringel will step up to the plate for the Harding Bisons. It was pretty interesting that Bailey Robinson, she is a freshman, but made a base running error. Lexi Gunter throws over to Caroline, and that'll be the final out of the inning. As we head to the bottom of the third, the score is still scoreless here at Chartwell's Women's Sports Complex. This is Golden Sun softball. All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the bottom half of the third inning with Riley Drake will get us going here. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters for the Golden Suns. Riley hits that one chopper to the second baseman, throws over the first, and that'll be the first out of the inning. So that'll bring up Anna Winkfield for the Golden Suns. So that was one pitch and one out for Avery Booker. Pretty efficient with that one. First pitch to Anna is inside for strike one. And she kind of held back a little bit. Thought that was a ball, more inside than what it was. Here comes the 0-1 for Booker. And outside for ball one. So that evens the count in one. With one out and nobody on base. And that one's way outside for ball two on Anna. So here comes the 2-1. And that is inside on the inside part of the plate for strike two. So that evens the count at 2-2. See what Booker does here. Does she come back inside or go outside? Here's the 2-2. Goes outside and gets a swinging strike three. Has some pump up emotion with that one in the circle. So now that'll bring up Maya Curry. Both pitchers so far have really settled in nicely. Even though there has been traffic on both sides on the base pass. That first pitch to Curry is a ball on the outside part of the plate. With that pitch is in there with low and inside for ball 2, with both teams leaving runners on base. Not able to strike just yet. Here's a 2-0, and that is outside for ball 3. Let's see if Curry will be taking this whole way. I'm pretty sure she will on the 3-0. Yep, she did, and just barely got the outside part of the plate for strike 1. So, see what kind of damage Curry can do with her slapping. And that is foul. And so that'll run the count full with 2 strikes and 3 balls. With 2 outs. And gets the walk with that pitch as Booker kind of chuckles at that one. So that'll bring up Aubrey Jones.
Center fielder, number 16,
by far
Aubrey
the most dangerous Golden Suns batter in the lineup. Who was also, as I call them, the walk-off queens. She was the walk-off queen last game. Got that double. And Curry got them to throw down to first and was able to steal second on that throw because of her speed. So they tried the back pick, unsuccessful, and Curry gets another base steal. And that is outside for ball 1. I would think anything in the outfield will definitely score Curry with her speed. And throws to the shortstop and gets her and gets her tagged out, and so that'll be the final out of the inning. So we remain scoreless as we head to the top half of the 4th inning. This is Golden Sun softball.
Are you ready to get in on the action at Arkansas Tech? Join us for a campus tour and see firsthand why we're the perfect fit for you. Explore these state-of-the-art facilities, meet our friendly faculty and staff, and discover the vibrant student life that awaits. As a bonus, we are now giving bilingual tours in Spanish.
¿Te gustaría conocer el campus de Arkansas Tech? Contáctanos hoy y descubre por qué esta universidad es el lugar donde comienzan los sueños grandes. From our beautiful campus to our endless opportunities, there's something for everyone at ATU. Visit atu.edu/admissions to schedule your tour today and to start your journey to success.
All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the top half of the 4th inning. We are still scoreless with each team having 3 hits on the day so far. Much cleaner softball. Almost said baseball. My apologies. Much cleaner softball on the field by both teams so far, as neither team has committed an error so far. First pitch from Lachard to Zoe Neal is a strike on the outside part of the plate. And both teams have left runners on base. Here's the 0-1, and that is fouled back, and count moves quickly to 0-2. That was a interesting pickoff play there to end the last half inning with Aubrey Jones up. The way they got Curry caught stealing, as the throw was to the shortstop and not towards the bag or even to the third baseman. That pitch is outside and low for ball one from Richard. And I think the third base umpire ruled it that the tag was on. Coach Jones didn't really argue that. And that one's popped up and foul territory. However, Riley Drake is able to make the catch, and that'll be the first out of the inning. So we'll move to Ella Frederick.
Designated player number 55, Frederick.
As the designated player for the Harding Bisons. As home plate umpire says to reset the pitch clock. First pitch is outside for ball one. So instead of throwing the Boswell through to the shortstop and not the second baseman who was covering the bag, they were able to get Curry from the final out. Here's the 1-0. And that is fouled back for strike one of this at bat. As Richard has came in and done what she has done best and what she has done all year. Come in and put up zeros. And that is outside for ball two. She kind of smiles at that one. She thought it was a strike. I thought it may have clipped the bottom of the zone with that one. Our home plate umpire disagrees. And that one's in there for strike two. Clips the outside part of the plate. And so that evens the count at 2-2 with one out. Here comes the pitch. And swinging strike three. And Richard records another strikeout. That'll be the second out of the inning. So we'll move to number 14 for the Bisons. I believe that's
Number 14, Turner.
that'll be Tori Turner. Guess they're using a pinch hitter here against Richard. So that'll be first pitch was a ball, I believe. So here's the pitch from Richard, and that is ball two. So Turner is able to work a hitter's count here with 2 balls and no strikes. With 2 outs and nobody on base. And Richard comes inside and almost hits Turner, but that's called a ball. It almost hit her on the back elbow. And she is a left-handed hitter. So now the count is 3-0. And Richard throws a 4-pitch walk against Turner. So now Boswell will come up to the plate, as she is the catcher, so she's getting her guards off.
Catcher,
of her
Alexis
catcher's
Boswell.
gear. So with 2 outs with a runner on first. See if Richard can work around the walk here. Here's the first pitch. And Boswell fouls that one back for strike 1. And we will get another pitch here shortly. It's turning out to be quite the pitcher's duel so far. And there goes Turner as that is fouled back. And let's see, so they're saying the runner left early. So that'll end the top half of the 4th inning against that. And that'll be as we head to the bottom of the 4th. This is Golden Sun softball.
Leading off for Arkansas Tech.
All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball. As these last couple of innings, half innings, we've had 2 base running miscues by both teams that have caused them to get out. So because Curry got caught stealing, Aubrey Jones turns to the plate against Booker. As the Harding Bisons had a base running error in the last half inning, as the runner at first had left early when she ran to second off the foul tip. And that is a ball 2 pitch to Aubrey Jones from Booker. The thing is with softball is that because there's no leadoffs like there is in baseball, you can only leave when the ball is pitched. So, and that one's fouled back by Aubrey. So in turn, the runner left early, and that way she is called out. So that evens the count at 2 apiece for Aubrey Jones. And that is high and outside for ball 3, and that count runs full. As Booker tells her catcher Boswell that's her bad for placing it there. Here's the payoff pitch. And Aubrey was able to check her swing, and so she earns another walk. So that'll bring up Allie White. Let's see how aggressive Coach Jones is with her at first base. And Allie White up to the plate. Aubrey Jones does have speed and has 11 base steals on the year. There's the bunt, and works to perfection as Allie sacrifices herself. And Aubrey ends up at second. So that'll bring up the opportunity for Caroline Wilhelm to get another timely hit and get another RBI. As speaking of timely hits, she has actually had a walk-off hit already this year. See if she can get another timely hit here with the runner in scoring position and get the first run of the ball game. And that is high for ball one. And Boswell checks Aubrey at second. I don't know if Coach Jones is going to be as aggressive on the base pass with a couple of her Curry getting caught stealing. And so this will bring out the pitching coach for Harding into the circle. Count 2-0. We'll be right back after this short break. All right, meeting is adjourned as the Beatles gets cut off there by their song Help, as trying to see if Bisons need help. Here's a 2-0, and that gets past Boswell, and Aubrey will advance up 60 feet to third. So that'll bring up a count of 3-0. See if Caroline can either work something to where it's a sac fly or something into the outfield to get a productive out here. Here's the 3-0. And that is that going back, and right at the bottom of the warning track, and that's a ground rule double as it bounces over the wall, scoring Aubrey Jones. So that is the first run of the ball game, and it comes via the ground rule double. Great piece of hitting. I almost thought if there was a little bit more wind, almost thought it was going to go out for another home run. Instead, it's a ground rule double. So that'll bring up Aaliyah Dixon as she steps into the batter's box, as the also people have brought in fatheads out in left field, displaying them over the wall for the three seniors. First pitch to Dixon is outside for strike one on the outside part of the plate. And I heard as I was going through the autograph line that those gave the Golden Suns some chuckles in the dugout. And Dixon offers and bunts that foul. Hits the Harding catcher Boswell, nicks her. She says she's all right. However, the home plate umpire just gives her a little extra time for a breather as Dixon steps back in. So that will be outside for ball one from Booker. So the count now sits at 1-2 with one out. And Caroline's sitting at second base. And the 1-2. And Dixon swings through that one. She wanted that one. However, she missed, and that'll be a strikeout. So that'll bring up Charlie Jackson to the plate for the Golden Suns, as she is the battery mate for Emily Richard. And first pitch to her is a ball for this at bat. And got the fans here are getting a little rowdy pops that one up, and second baseman will make the catch, and that'll be the final out of the inning. However, the Golden Suns were able to strike first with that RBI double from Caroline Wilhelm. So we head to the top of the fifth. It's 1-0 in favor of Golden Suns. This is Golden Suns softball.
You belong at a school that understands your needs. At Arkansas Tech University, you'll receive a personalized education designed with your interests in mind, offering over 150 degree options both online and in person, with classes taught by dedicated instructors committed to helping you succeed in your chosen field.
All right, welcome back to Golden Suns softball as we head to the top half of the fifth inning. As we have moved past the halfway point in this second game of this doubleheader, as Alexis Boswell still gets to be at bat because the base runner left early and was called out. So first pitch from Richard popped up, and Curry calls off everybody, makes the catch, and that'll be one pitch and one out. So that'll bring up Bailey McGregor, the left fielder.
Left fielder number 1, Bailey McGregor.
These Golden Suns this year have just found innumerable ways to win against pretty much all their opponents. And that one's up and outside for ball one from Richard. The only ones that, and they battled all three games, is Southern Arkansas. And Southern Arkansas is usually in a league of their own when it comes to the Great American Conference. But the 1-0 is on the outside part of the plate for strike one. Well, the Golden Suns battled the first two games, lost by, I believe, a combined 2 or 3 runs between those two games, and they just had run out of gas in that third game. Here's a 1-1, and that is low and outside for ball 2. But Southern Arkansas does that to a lot of teams, as they are the cream of the crop when it comes to the Great American Conference. And the Golden Suns battled last weekend against Oklahoma Baptist and unfortunately lost in a rubber match. That one's fouled back, evens the count at 2-2. So they are right there as far as getting to the top of the conference, especially this year, as they've already clinched their place into the conference tournament, which is held in Bentonville at Bentonville High. Here comes the 2-2. And Emily Richard gets that strikeout look in with the reverse K on the outside part of the plate, and that'll be the second out of the inning. So that'll bring up Bailey Willis for the Bisons. And I believe Harding has also clinched their spot into that conference tournament as well. That first pitch is fouled back to so the count goes to 0-1. As I was saying, the Bisons have also, I believe, clinched their spot into that conference tournament. held at Bentonville High later on next month. And that's a called strike on the outside part of the plate for Richard. See if she can strike out the side here. We got nobody out with an 0-2 count, or 2 outs with nobody on base with an 0-2 count. Here's the 0-2. Swinging strike 3, and Richard strikes out the side as we head to the bottom of the 5th with the Golden Suns still leading 1-0. This is Golden Sun softball. All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning with the Golden Suns still leading the Harding Bisons by a score of 1-0. Bisons have 0 runs on 3 hits with no errors. Golden Suns have 1 run on 4 hits with 0 errors. First up to get us started in this bottom of the 5th is Lexi Gunter as he steps into the box. And first pitch to her at this at bat is ball outside. And Harding coach comes out to the home plate umpire. And she argues the balls and strikes, and he throws her out. As the Golden Suns faithful applaud that. That is, we've had kind of some dealings with this home plate umpire in the past. He tried to get a fan thrown out the last time he was here. Apparently, he doesn't have a little bit of a thin skin, however, and the Harding coach had enough, and so did he. So as we reset here, count is 0-1. Or sorry, not 0-1, 1-0, 1 ball, no strikes. And Lexi grounds that to the third baseman, throws over to first, and that'll be the first out of the inning. As Riley Drake comes up to the plate. I will say this umpire has a very short leash when it comes to arguing with him. Here's the first pitch, and Riley grounds it to her counterpart, third base, and that'll be another out, the second out of the inning. 5-3. That's what I wanted to say, folks. So that'll bring up Anna Winkfield with 2 outs and nobody on base. As Booker got Riley Drake to hit 1 pitch and 1 out. And that one's a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Count goes down to 0-1. This goes to show you that, and Anna was completely fooled on that one, as that was a drop ball, change up, something where she was just really just rolled over that one. Count goes to 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 from Booker. High and outside for ball one. Does not chase that pitch. Goes to show you that you kind of have to have thick skin when you come out to the ballpark, especially if you're your umpire. That one's inside for ball two. And I wonder I did see the Harding bus pull into the street. I don't know. I don't see it in the parking lot just yet. And Anna shoots that one foul down the left field line. And everything gets a little bit chippy when it comes down to the third and final game of a series, especially when you have two rivals like this. So kind of almost half expect it with these two teams playing out, especially at the top of the conference. Here's the 2-2. And Anna swings through that one, and Booker gets fired up in the circle with that pitch. And that'll be another 1-2-3 inning for the Harding Bisons as we head to the top of the sixth. This is Golden Sun softball.
Arkansas Tech University has pathways to go to college beyond free and help cover the cost of your education. While other universities may claim a debt-free option via a special scholarship, ATU doesn't need a special scholarship to cover tuition and mandatory fees because we're already one of the most affordable universities in the state. Instead, ATU offers 5 pathways for graduating high school seniors to cover the cost of attending classes. And one of these 5 pathways could pay for you. Apply today at atu.edu/beyondfree.
All right, folks, as we head to the top half of the sixth inning with the Golden Suns still leading the Harding Bisons by the score of 1-0. I just got informed by one of my camera people that the Harding coach is sitting out in the outfield. So as she's able to, I guess, watch the game not from the dugout, but from the berm. Maybe text her coaches, tell them what's going on, what she's seeing. So the first pitch from Richard with number 3. I guess we got there she is. Peyton Alexander is up to bat, the second baseman for the Bisons. So nothing like watching the game from a different angle in your your visiting dugout. So that pitch from Richard was outside for a ball 1. She told Charlie Jackson, her battery mate, that was her bad. So we got an even count here. Here's the 1-1. And that one's fouled back by Alexander. And count runs to 1-2. As I was saying earlier, that the Golden Suns they have really had a very successful season so far, despite having the 12 losses. The 1-2 is a swinging strike 3, and Richard does her strikeout dance, and we throw the ball around the horn. And that'll be the first out of the inning. So that would go to Bailey Robinson. So, as I was saying earlier, they really have punched above their weight and had really tight games against the top 2 teams in the Great American Conference. Just have been unfortunate with those games. And Caroline is playing up from her first base side as she thinks that Bailey is gonna either do a slap bunt or something with her speed. First pitch to Bailey is a ball. My apologies. It counts 1-0. And that one is high and outside for ball 2. So Bailey able to work a hitter's count here with the count 2-0. We still got a great crowd here at Sharp-Wills Lehman Sports Complex. Here's the 2-0, and that is high for ball 3, which is really great to see with it being, senior day and everything, because these seniors and this team has had a very successful season so far. And of those, 6 losses, and that's on the inside part of the plate from Machard for a strike 1. Of those 6 losses, 3 of those were so we have a pitch clock violation, and so that means that it'll be a ball, and Bailey is able to take first base.
Pitch time violation.
So
Center fielder
number 9, Logan Ringel, will step up to the plate. Let's see if the Golden Suns can maybe turn 2 here. Bailey Robinson has 12 steals on the year so far. I don't know if they'll try to manufacture her and get her a stolen base. As Logan gets the sign from her third base coach. And that's rolled over to Caroline. She throws a second, gets the lead runner. Curry falls down, and that'll be the second out. So that'll be a fielder's choice. And home plate umpire calls up his crew. So we got a discussion here. Let's see. I think he's saying that she was out anyway because I think she obstructed Curry there at second when she was sliding in. So that's still a fielder's choice. So all right. We got batter's time delay, says the home plate umpire. So that'll be, we got 2 outs. If there's a batter's time delay, then there should be 3 outs. That's what the Golden Sun faithful are saying. Should be 3 outs since there was a, okay. So amidst of all the confusion, so we get back to softball here as Zoe Neal steps up to the plate. And we got 2 outs with 1 runner on base at first. And that's hit sharply, and Curry backs up Riley and throws across the diamond and unable to make the play. So that was an excellent effort by Riley and Maya as it hit the outside part of Riley, and Curry tried to dive for it and try to get the out, but unfortunately they rolled that a hit. So that'll be another pinch hitter coming up for the Bisons. It'll be number 17, Avery Booker, the pitcher. As Each team has 4 hits apiece. See if so. We got 2 runners on base from first and second. So Avery Booker will be hitting for the DP, Ella Frederick.
The flex is hitting is number 17, Avery Booker.
So Harding deciding to use their flex here. And Richard throws that first pitch low for ball 1. So got a time call for a Bison to tie her cleat here. Got a count of 1-0. And that pitch is high from Richard for ball 2. Tech pitching coach calls time, and we'll have a meeting with Richard and Charlie Jackson with the battery mate, and we'll be right back after this short break. All right, welcome back to Golden Sun Softball after that short meeting is adjourned. We got a count of 2-0 with Richard in the circle for the Golden Suns as Avery Booker is hitting flex. And that pitch is in there from Richard for strike 1. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. See if Richard can work around this traffic here, as she has all game so far. And throws that pitch for strike 2 as the Golden Sun faithful are getting a little rowdy here with Richard, as it is a rivalry series with the Harding Bisons. And that's fouled back. And Richard will get another pitch. So will Booker. So we'll get another 2-2 pitch here. Here it comes. Swinging strike 3, and Richard strikes out the side, and the Bisons leave runners at first and second as we head to the bottom of the 6th with the Golden Suns still leading 1-0. This is Golden Sun Softball. All right, welcome back to Golden Sun softball as we head to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Golden Suns still lead the Harding Bisons by a score of 1-0, with Maya Curry up to bat to lead us off here in the bottom half of the sixth. And that is first pitch to her for this at bat is outside for ball one. So, give you kind of a game reset. The Bisons have 0 runs on 4 hits with no errors. And that one's inside for ball 2. As Booker kind of cracks a smile at that one. And the Golden Suns have 1 run on 4 hits with no errors. So, kind of give it a game reset. And Curry chops that one. Third baseman catches it. And Curry beats it out. So that'll be an infield single. So that'll be another hit for the Golden Suns. And Maya, who has scored the only run in this game so far. So that'll bring up Aubrey Jones, as she was able to hit a ground rule double last at bat. That scored Curry. And that's a pitch on strike call on the outside part of the plate. See if Coach Jones will send Curry stealing on second. Give a little pressure to Boswell behind the plate. And she does just that, and pitch gets away, and base is stolen easily. She did not see the pitch in the turf, so she slid in. However, it's another stolen base for Curry. By far has the most stolen bases on the team. I believe that would be her 31st stolen base. And Aubrey tries to lay down the bunt. Pulls back in time for ball 2. This would be a huge insurance run if the Golden Suns are able to get Curry in, as the Bisons would need base runners. And Aubrey tries to foul that one, unsuccessful in the foul territory. So we're up to 2 strikes here with an even count at 2-2. Golden Suns faithful are trying to cheer on Aubrey in the batter's box here. And that pitch is inside for ball 3. Count runs full. As Boswell set up outside, and Booker kind of threw it high and inside. That was a decent grab by Boswell, allowing Curry to advance. And Aubrey fouls that one back, and we'll get another payoff pitch here shortly. Let's see. Here's a payoff pitch, and Aubrey fouls that, hits that one down the first baseline softly, and moves up Curry 60 feet. First baseman does the one unassisted, and so that'll be the first out of the inning. So that'll bring up Allie White here up to the batter's box. Even though Aubrey got out, it was a very productive out, as Curry was able to advance 60 feet and be 60 feet away from really putting the pressure on these Bisons. First pitch to Allie is a called strike on the inside part of the plate. They tried to bat pick Curry. Unsuccessful, as she was able to get back. Which is kind of interesting because Allie is a right-handed hitter. Boswell kind of shielded a little bit. Tries again, unsuccessful, as Curry asks for time. As Allie tried to do a bunt, was able to pull back. Trying to manufacture that run there for her team. Here's the 1-1. Hits that one. Foul just barely down the left field line. Just barely. I mean, just inches away. And that was an early foul call by the home plate umpire. And hits that. And the third baseman is able to not field it cleanly. And Dixon or Curry goes home, throws home, and unable to make the tag. And the Golden Suns were able to score that. And Allie gets a hit with that. So the Golden Suns are able to get a huge insurance run with that score going up 2-0. So that'll bring out a pinch runner for Allie White. That'll be another number 55, Abby Lowry, as Caroline Wilhelm will step up to the plate.
Attention please, fans. Pinch running for Arkansas Tech. First base, number 55, Abby Lowry. At the plate, first baseman, number 12, Caroline Wilhelm.
So we still got one out. Caroline hits that one and caught by the third baseman, and they are able to make the double play and end the inning. So Harding is down to the final 3 outs of this game. 3 outs away for a sweep for the Arkansas Tech Golden Suns. We'll be right back. This is Golden Sun Softball. All right, welcome back to Golden Sun Softball as we head to the top half of the 7th inning as the Golden Suns lead the Harding Bisons by a score of 2-0. So Harding is down to the final 3 outs. So number 18, Lena Danielson, steps up to the plate for the Harding Bisons. So it will be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Harding Bisons, as Emily Richard still in the circle for the Golden Suns. And that one's hit softly towards Caroline, does the 3 unassisted, and that'll be the first out. Always a very big, important first out of the last inning of the ball game. So that'll bring up Alexis Boswell, the catcher for the Harding Bisons, as she has caught all 3 games for Harding. And first pitch, and that is foul back. And count goes to 0-1 for Richard. Here comes the 0-1 from Richard. And that is low and outside for ball 1. Evens the count at 1-1 with 1 out and nobody on base. And the 1-1. And that is fouled back for strike 2 on Boswell. See if Richard can strike out Boswell here. As she, there's a 1-2. Low and outside barely for ball 2. Evens the count at 2-2. As the Golden Sun faithful are cheering on Richard. Trying to get that one more strike. And that one's fouled back. And Boswell will earn another pitch. See if Richard goes inside as she's peppered the outside part of the plate with so far the last couple of pitches. See if she goes back inside. And Charlie sets up outside, and that is popped up and foul on top of the Golden Suns dugout. So that'll get another pitch for Boswell. Count remains 2-2. There's that one inside and towards the parking lot. Might be an insurance claim for somebody, possibly. May have been Dr. Jones's Porsche. That was pretty close to it. I'm sure the university would probably have paid for that if it did happen. There's a 2-2. That one's popped up, and Aaliyah Dixon calls off Lexi Gunter and makes the catch. So the Hardy Bisons are down to their final out, and so they're down to Bailey McGregor, the left fielder, is their final out. And Richard is asking for a new ball. And home plate umpire will oblige and get more himself. So now we are reset and ready for some more softball. And first pitch is swinging, strike 1 from Richard. She has been excellent so far in the circle for the Golden Suns, even when she came in relief in the game prior. Here is the 0-1. And barely misses that one for ball 1. She kind of did a little smile with that one. And because that was kind of a borderline pitch that did not go her way. Here comes the 1-1. And just barely missed at the bottom of the zone for ball 2. Here's a 2-1. High and outside for ball 3. Fans are getting a little more rowdy as it gets closer to the end of the game. Here comes the 3-1 from Richard. And swinging strike 2. So Harding's down to their final strike as the count goes full. See if Rashard can get a exclamation point on this ball game and bow it up here. And that one's hit sharply foul into the batting cages. So we will get another pitch. This has been a great battle between not Boswell, McGregor and Rashard. Let's see who wins this battle. Another payoff pitch. That one's popped up, and Dixon comes in, makes the catch, and that'll be the ball game as the Golden Suns are able to sweep their arch rival, the Harding Bisons. So, as we get to do this and improve their record to 36-12 with 24-6 in conference play, as the Harding Bisons will fall to 24-20 overall and 19-11 in conference play. As, like I said, the Golden Suns earn the sweep, and they'll bring out the broom for their team meeting celebration. And as they do all their funny stuff for the camera. And their next outing will be Monday. The first pitch will be a doubleheader. The first pitch will be at 11 o'clock. And the second game will be around 1 o'clock or 30 minutes after the first game. The next GAC series for the Golden Suns will be on the road, as they'll be in Weatherford next weekend against the Swazu Bulldogs. This has been fun calling these and supporting these ladies this entire season. I'm Joshua Tripp. Thank you and good night, everybody.